Today I want to tell you about one of my new favorite productivity hacks. I'm calling it a doing instead of stewing session. So as you may remember from a previous video, I recently started listening to Gretchen Rubin's podcast. And on one of those episodes, she was talking about getting things done. I couldn't even tell you the episode off the top of my head, but she was talking about a productivity quote and she said, "The stewing is worse than the doing." And I was just like, how many things am I stewing in? There are so many things that are so easy to do or kind of annoying to do. But the other thing she said in her episode was, if there's no deadline or date, sometimes these things just never get done. And in both of those categories, the easy and the annoying, I had so many things building up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Instead of saying I'm gonna check off X number of things from my list, I'm gonna give myself an hour. Because sometimes I think you get discouraged of how long 3 things can reasonably take. And then you're like, well, I'm never gonna get this done. So I was like, I'm gonna give myself 1 hour. I am going to see how much I can do so that I don't have to stew. And here is how it went. I'm laughing right now because my husband sits near me when I film these and he has his laptop out and he said he is doing instead of stewing as well. So he's getting some stuff done. Anyway, all right, so before I did this, I had to make a rule for myself of what counted during this hour. Now, for example, let me tell you what doesn't count. Laundry, that doesn't count. Emptying the dishwasher, that doesn't count. Taking out the trash, that doesn't count. Those are bonuses that can be done while you're doing a stewing activity. For example, you're on the phone, waiting to talk to the dentist or whoever, making an appointment, and you do one of those tasks while you're doing it. But the stewing is something that has either been lingering for weeks, months, longer, or you know that if you don't deal with it right now, it's going to stew. Something like laundry, dishes, taking out the trash, that's something you're gonna do daily or every couple of days. And so that to me isn't something, I mean, it's good to do, it feels great when it's done, but it's not even close to as good as what these things feel because they've just been taking up space on your list, but also space in your mind. So I had to pick stuff that had been stewing for a while. So here's what I got done in 1 hour. Okay, first of all, I had 82 emails in my personal email. I was able to get that down to 31 with just a quick wipeout. So item number 1, check, cleaned out my inbox. But I also replied to 3 emails. These 3 emails were easy. They took me under 2 minutes to reply. I had been waiting so long and it's ridiculous, right? So getting some of those things off of my to-do list, just sending a quick hey, how are you? A check-in, answering a question. I'm like, why did this take so long? Some emails I personally leave as unread because they're things that I haven't gotten around to yet. It could be like, hey, you're due for I keep bringing up the dentist, your next dental cleaning. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna mark that as unread because I haven't made the appointment. So sometimes I could put these things in my planner, but I'll just leave them there, which may or may not be the best plan. But I'm like, okay, what of these 31 emails that are left can I get to? Okay, so I replied to 3. I cleaned out the 31. The first thing that I did is I got rid of 2 emails by calling the dentist. So I made an appointment and I had one that was like, hey, we charged you this for your last visit. And I was like, okay, you charged me, but is it paid? So I was able to confirm that a bill was paid and make an appointment. So that took care of 2 things, which felt great. The next thing that I did is I scheduled my annual mammogram. I am, as you all know, I said in my last, I think 2 videos ago, getting closer to 40. I'm gonna be 40 next year. Actually, my husband is laughing because I'm always like, I'm gonna be 40 next year. And he's like, you're not even 39 yet. So he's laughing at this, but I actually did get an email from the doctor that's like, welcome to 40, you need a mammogram. And this was after I already knew that I was just gonna go get one. So I was like, see, even the doctor is giving me a heads up. Okay, this was one of those things that has been stewing and it was not a quick thing. So that is why it felt good to get done. I had to call. They were like, the wait time is longer than usual, we'll call you back. So I had to wait for a call back. And then after they called me back, they had to verify where I wanted to go, when was my last visit, what was my insurance. And I was like, great, I'm scheduled. And I'm like, this is $0, right? Tell me this is $0 because it's just a screening. And they're like, well, let me transfer you to billing. Well, I wait on hold 10 minutes. and the billing person never comes on. So the first person comes back and is like, okay, now I have the billing person. And the billing person is like, yes, this is not gonna cost you anything. So it was that moment where I was like, wow, this is really good for my health. Go get your mammogram. I always like take a little selfie of myself getting my mammogram every year with a little like paper shirt, because it's like, it is such an important thing. It's one of those things, since I have a family history, I'm really careful about. I try to do all of my screenings for every doctor and dentist just because I'm a little anxious about that sort of thing. And I just wanna make sure, peace of mind for another year, get this screening, get that test, whatever. So I'm very grateful to be able to do that. But it was one of those things that took me about 30 minutes of, I wanna make sure that this is covered. Here's my insurance. This is the best time and date. You do offer evening appointments. So I sometimes like to remind myself, right? Like, we hear so often, oh, I put that off and I finally did it and it was so easy. Why was I waiting all this time? And then sometimes you're like, I know exactly why I was putting that off, because it feels like a phone call that should take 3 minutes and it took me 30. And so I feel like that is something that is important. It has to get done, but it feels so refreshing when it's done, because it's not always as quick as you think it will be. So mammogram appointment, check. Okay, so we've got that. I'm looking at all my things. I also RSVP'd for 2 birthday parties for my daughter. Sometimes I feel like you hit different seasons, and around the holidays, I don't feel like people try to plan as many parties, but in the new year, it feels like there have been a lot. So I got my calendar out. I RSVP'd to 2 parties. That felt great. And then another thing I did is I got out my March calendar. My March calendar is so insane right now. Lots of travel, lots of trips, spring break, I think 4 or 5 birthday parties, play dates, appointments, 2 dentist appointments, right? So many things happening. So that was another thing that I did. I took out my calendar and I have put everything on there, the highlighting, the Post-its, and just knowing what's happening. It's early March right now. Knowing what the whole month looks like is such a weight lifted. So I finally did that. And then the last thing I did is, this is the silliest one, is my daughter has this fairy costume and it has been sitting on our step for, I don't know, like 2.5 weeks. And we got it. It was a gift for Valentine's Day and she loves it, but we haven't found a place for it. And her costume bin is crazy. You should see this bin. At one point, I think we had 6 different Elsa dresses, and you might be wondering, does Elsa wear 6 different dresses? And I can tell you, actually, yes, she does have so many different options for what she wears. We had to get rid of a few, but our costume bin is so full. So anyway, every time I walked by this costume, this fairy costume on the step, I'm like, why don't we have a place for it? So anyway, it is not on the step anymore. And it is such a relief that our steps are completely clear. I know that sounds so silly. Now, it is not in its forever home. It has been placed with some costumes and some baby doll toys that are, gonna need to get sorted soon, because that pile is growing too. So I'm not saying that it's in its forever home, but it's off of the steps. And that was something that I was thinking about every single time I walked by it. So in 1 hour, I was able to reply to 3 emails, get my email down like 60%, move the fairy costume, RSVP to 2 birthday parties, confirm that my dental bill was paid, make a dentist appointment, make a mammogram appointment, confirm that that billing is good to go and it's not gonna cost anything, and get my calendar organized, get camp registration and everything on there. So having 1 hour where you don't have a list of, I'm going to get these 5 things done in this hour, you just give yourself an hour and say, what can I get done? Open your email and say like, oh, let me start with this. Sometimes it's nice to have, this is a suggestion for you, 2 different groups of things. The phone call list where you're going to be on hold, and the items that need to be arranged or chores that need to be done in your house. That is good, because while you're on hold, maybe you have a pile that has been bothering you or you haven't dealt with it. It is something that is stewing. You might be on hold for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. You can do your pile. So sometimes you can double dip, and that is a really nice way to save some time too. So this is my new favorite productivity thing. I think my goal is going to be try to do this once a week. And again, this does not count for 1 hour of laundry, dishes, the basics. No, this is for stuff that has been stewing, or if you do not do it right now, it is going to stew. So this has, like I said, has been the best way to start my day. I'm recording this right now around lunchtime, and it was just like the nicest way to start my day, because I'm like, wow, whatever happens for the rest of the day, I got 8 annoying things off of my list, and they're not some of them weren't that bad, right? Like RSVPing to a birthday party, you send a text, or, you know, moving a fairy costume that took me 11 seconds and it's just out of sight, out of mind. So not all of it was that bad, but I think sometimes having it in your mind is so much worse, which is where the expression comes from, than actually just getting it done. So anyway, I could say a million good things about this. This is my new favorite productivity hack. So I'm gonna try this again. I will report back in a few months to see if I continue to do this and how I'm feeling about this. But if you have a system like this, I would love to hear about it in the comments, or if you've tried something similar, I would love to hear about that too. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.